Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got a graphic novel book recommendation for you. Alright, so I feel like I've picked up a ton of graphic novels recently and that's pretty much all I've been reading during quarantine. I feel like some days I figured I would let you know about the ones that I'm really excited about, the ones that I've read and really loved. Also, sorry in advance if there's any extra noise. The window is open, it's a little stuffy in here while I'm filming, so let's dive into this recommendation. So this recommendation is going to be split between books that I've already read and really enjoyed and I think you guys would enjoy as well, and books that I haven't read yet but I think that I'm going to really enjoy. So let's go for the ones that I've already read. So this first one is going to be The Tea Dragon Society. This book was just so cute and sweet, and just, if you guys know me, I love dragons. I also really love tea, so this is just like right up my alley. This one has some great art, it's got great characters, and this one is for younger readers, but it's such like a heartwarming story. So this one follows Greta, and after she finds a lost tea dragon in the marketplace, she helps it get back to its owners, but also starts learning how to take care of tea dragons, and it's just really cute and sweet. So next up is going to be Fence, Volume 1. This one is just pure perfection. Like, this one set off a whole thing about me wanting to read sports themed books. Like, I don't even know why, but I love these books. So this one follows Nick, and he's the illegitimate son of a retired fencing champion, and he's very like scrappy. He doesn't really have a defined style with fencing, and he gets accepted into the prestigious King's Row private school, and like on a scholarship. He just wants to make it on the team, and then, you know, there's maybe potentially love interest. It's just such a really cool graphic novel series, and I love the art style and I love these characters. They're so dumb sometimes, but that just makes them so endearing. Alright, so next up we have Heartstopper, which this one shouldn't be a surprise to anybody by this point. I love this series. Nick and Charlie are just so cute and sweet, and I just love them and I love their story. So Nick and Charlie meet in school, and Charlie is openly gay, and you know, he kind of has a crush on Nick, and then they kind of both join the rugby team and they start getting closer as friends, and then Nick and Charlie kiss, and then they kind of turn into boyfriends, and it's just so cute and sweet, and I love these characters, and I love how this book series deals with mental health as well as sexuality and being a teenager, and just, it's really sweet. So next up we have Taproots. This is one of my favorite graphic novels that I've read so far this year. This one follows Blue, who is a ghost, and he's kind of having trouble moving on, and you know, he kind of makes his new best friend, who is Hamal, and he can see ghosts, and Hamal's like works at a garden center and he loves gardening, and Blue's just kind of content to haunt Hamal till, you know, whenever he wants. And you know, Blue kind of starts developing this crush on him, and then things in the underworld start going haywire. Hamal turns out to be a necromancer, and it's just, you know, really cute. I love this art style. It's very green and very like lush, and I really like the gardening aspect mixed with the necromancy because it's kind of, you know, really interesting. So next up we have Pumpkinheads. This is one of my favorites that I read in 2019. I read this for Halloween, I think, around Halloween. This one follows Deja and Josiah, and they work at like the best pumpkin patch ever. It's about food and it's about finding love and figuring out what they're gonna do for college, and it's just a really sweet graphic novel, and I really loved it. So next up we have Check Please Volume 1. This is also one of my favorite graphic novels that I read last year. I love Jack and I love Biddy, and I love this art style. And I love that it revolves around hockey and baking and going to school and making friends and, you know, figuring out your love life, and just, it's so cute. And I love that there's like Twitter pages from the characters at the end, and like Instagrams, and it's just so cute. And yes, it is sports, and this is probably also another thing that really got me hooked on the sports, because it has been a whole thing this last year. This one is one that I would highly recommend because it's just so good. Okay, so now we're getting into the ones that I haven't read yet, but I really am looking forward to them. So the first one is going to be Witchy. This one I've talked about quite a bit recently. I love the art style. I really love the premise of this. It's just So in this kingdom, being a witch is kind of like determined by the length of your hair. So witches are conscripted into the witch guard, and basically they're made to be peacekeepers and soldiers in times of war. But if your hair gets too long, then you are basically hunted down and killed. But look at this art style. It's just gorgeous, and I cannot wait to get into this. So next up we have Nimona. So this one is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's about this girl who wants to become a supervillain, and she basically goes and finds a supervillain and becomes his sidekick. And I love this art style. I think it's done by the same people that did the Lumberjanes series. But I just really love the art style, and I love the character design, and I also really like that the character is a sidekick to a villain rather than a hero. I mean, that's totally different from what usually happens. Also, apparently there's dragons in here, so heck yes. Alright, so next up I have Bloom. So this one I've also talked about quite a bit recently. This one follows Ari, and he's just dying to move to the big city to live out his dream of being in a band with his friends from high school. And, you know, his dad's just not having any of that because, you know, he needs help at the family bakery. So Ari is basically staying behind and, you know, kind of trying to figure out how he fits into the world while also working at his family bakery. And then he meets Hector, who loves baking, and they kind of, you know, fall in love over that. And then Ari kind of falls back in love with baking. And this one looks really cute. I also really love like the blue tones for this whole book. It's just really pretty. Okay, and then the last book in this recommendation is going to be Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. This one follows Freddie, and the day that she and Laura Dean became girlfriends, that was the best day of her life, and then nothing has made sense since that day. This one is about toxic relationships and being brokenhearted, and it's just one that I hadn't really thought about until I saw it, and then I was like, yes, let's see how this goes. So I really like the art style. I love the pink that is just kind of little pops of color here and there. It just looks really, really cute, and I can't wait to dig into this one because it looks cool. Alright, so those are all the graphic novels in today's recommendation. What are some of your favorite graphic novels? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't already and would like to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You can also hit the notification button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish content and bookish stuff, check out the links down below. There will also be a link to the Black Lives Matter info card down there. Alrighty, bye guys!